Happy Wednesday, winners. I wanted to do a little charting with you guys today on Bitcoin, just cover a couple things. Um, I know that there is a fair amount of folks that are disheartened about Bitcoin. I don't know so much about this particular group. You guys would have to tell me. I don't really sense that you guys are very disheartened. But I do know from checking around with some of my buddies that they are having people disappear on their subscription list left and right. One of my good buddies who does a lot of day trading, just, I mean, literally April, May, June, July, he was having 300, 350, 400 people showing up whenever he would go to teach charting, and now today he has 60. Now, I'm not going to say that's 100% because of Bitcoin not going up the way people want it to, as much as I also know how hard it is when you become a good day trader to actually transpose that into the mindset of another human. Not all people are made up to be day traders. So, from that perspective, he's probably lost a lot of people who gave this a shot, lost a lot of money, gambled, whatever it was, and they're just falling by the wayside now because, they're either out of money or B, they can't afford to do it again. So, as I've checked around with a couple other folks, they've got a lot less people showing up to, follow along in crypto. So for that reason, today I want to just kind of give a little bit of analysis of what I see possibly taking place in the crypto market. So we're going to start right here with the 50 moving average and the 100. So we are just about, if we're not this week, getting a close. Let me try to blow this up to see. Right here, the green one here is the 50 moving average. And let's see if we can get it. Yep, we got a cross there. So the 50 is crossing through the 100. So we're getting a golden cross on the weekly chart. Now I told you guys when we had this big red candle that came down and closed below the 50, I told you then that I wanted to see a follow-up candle would need to be, or a continuation candle to show us, that we're going lower. That continuation candle would need to open below the 50 and it would need to close below the 50. So far, that has not happened. The very next candle opened here and went right up and closed above the 50. The next weekly candle opened above the 50 and closed above the 50. Even the current red week we're on now has opened above the 50 and is currently below the 50. So even if it closed all the way down here at 5,500, that still is not a weekly candle that opened and closed below the 50. So from that perspective, I personally am still very bullish in the very near to come outlook on Bitcoin and as that relates to crypto as a whole. Now, I talked to you guys a little bit about this on the last video where we were discussing, where to get a count from. So from here, I started down here at the 3,100 range, and we had an uptick 1, a pullback for ABC for 2, we had a move up here for 3, a move back for 4. This one was simple. This one over here was complex. It lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. This one literally lasted for a week and a half. And then we went up and completed 5. So 5-wave pattern. The price now, to invalidate this entire move, the price would now have to go past that low. So past, what was that? What did that go down to? About 31.50. It's got to go past 3150 to invalidate that count. Well, I told you guys earlier in the year that there's also a lot that would be undone if we did that. A lot that would be undone. And what I meant by that was the investors class signal that we got back here in April. When this candle here, I guess it really would have been May. When this candle here, so this one opened above the 50 in April. The next one opened above the 50 moving average and closed above the 50 moving average. Okay, so that was your confirmation candle. So when we have this big red one that comes down without confirmation, I'm not going to turn here and go, oh, well, the price of Bitcoin must be coming down. We should be seeing 4,200 any minute now. I can't do that. And the reason I can't is because the chart's not pointing to that. And so today, all we're going to talk about is the chart. We're not talking about the big wigs on Wall Street. We're not talking about anybody that talks to the Vatican. We're not talking about anybody that goes over and talks with the families in Rome. We're not talking about VC fund hedge managers. I'm just talking to you about pure charting. This is real simple stuff. Let me show you back here what happened. Okay. This was all the way back here when we bottomed out in 2015. And the price went sideways for a small period of time. Looks like about maybe 24 weeks, something like that. And then it popped right here and went above the 50. So right there on the 19th of October 2015, it closed above the 50. The very next week, it gave a confirmation candle. It opened and it closed above the 50. The next week, it went up. It went through the 100. Came back, went up, sideways, 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 and popped again, and popped again, and popped again. But from the day of October 12th, when it went through, or excuse me, the 19th, the week that it went through the 50 moving average did not cross the 100 for how many more weeks? Let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 weeks later, after the price came above the 50, 35 weeks later, we got the golden cross. Okay? Now, same story over here. Right here, you had a red candle come down and pierce the 50. The next weekly candle opened and closed below the 50. And look what happened. The price went down, 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 pop up, down, 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 all the way to here. When the actual cross happened looks like again about 30 some weeks later, all the way over here. The 50 went below the 100 and you had a death cross. Okay? The reason for this, and the reason this looks a little different than what you're used to seeing, for example, in the stock market, is because crypto moves very fast. Crypto moves very fast. So normally, and also, we're looking at a weekly chart. So we're very close to the granddaddy of all charts, okay? Which is the monthly. So that's again why it looks so slow and only crosses way over here. But again, remember what I told you guys. We're talking about an investor's class signal. We're talking about a signal where institutions will be buying or selling. And this is how it happens. Institutions that would have been in all this over here on the rise up, or how about here, when it crossed here, institutions that would have been in all this on this rise up, they would have certainly taken profits up here, but they would have still been in their positions until this week right here of June the 4th. On that day right there, they would have been looking to close their positions between here and here. And you almost always get a retest. So when you break that 50 and you open a candle and close it below the weekly, a lot of folks that missed that on this big green 2 days up, they would have been selling like crazy right there. Okay? And that was in July. Now, let's move over here. Today, this week, we are getting a cross of the 50 above the 100. That 50 above the 100 cross is a golden cross. We have a 5-wave count we can count. We also have come down and hit our major weekly support line. So let me show you all that in real time. So all the way back to here, when the price was down to $182, we have a weekly support line here that we can draw. Came close to it here, very close to it there, touched it here. We can probably maybe even come close to connecting it all the way back here. And this is a weekly support line. So the price is sitting on the support line, and we have the cross happening this week. Now, I'm going to tell you right here, I'm going to stop right here and talk to you for one moment about the bearish side, okay? The bearish side of Bitcoin tells me that even if it remains bullish, there could still be a bearish move down to about $5,500. Maybe $5,200, $5,300 on a spike. But the only way that that becomes a bearish move in a bull market is if it goes down there and comes right back up. Meaning that maybe it goes down there in one day, and then the next 2 days it goes right back up to where it came from. But it can't be down there for a week or two at a time, because then it's not a bearish move in a bull market. It becomes something much greater than that. Now, it would also take a lot of people out of the market. And you know that's the goal. The goal is to take a lot of people out of the market. So I'm just telling you that because it's possible we see that. It is actually possible we'll see that. The other thing it could do is it could go down to that level, which would be about here. So you could have a candle that comes down to here, and in the same week goes all the way back up and closes back above that line. And that's going to trigger some major buying right there. So just bear in mind that we could see that. If we see it go down there and stay there, and it's down there for days at a time, or it goes down there very slow, where it maybe drops to 6,000 first, and then there's a red candle down to 5,700, and then there's one down to 55, 54, and then one down to 52. Those are not good signs at all, okay? And nobody knows. I know there's a lot of people that say they know. They know exactly what's going to happen. When I see that, I absolutely run. Here's my response to people like that when they send me something and they say, "Well, here's what's going to happen on the end of the third month in 2020. Bitcoin's going to take off and start a new bull market because here's my analysis and here's this and this is what's going to happen." My response to that is always, we shall see. We shall see. Because I've been doing this for 20 years, and after 20 years and all kinds of charting, from the euro to the pound to the Japanese yen to the dollar to gold to silver, let me just tell you something. After all these years, I still don't think that I can tell you what's going to happen next. Now, when it's trending, when it's doing this right here, I'm really good at this right here when it's trending. The market trends in one of five ways. The market corrects in one of 36 ways. So the person who thinks in correction that they can call it and give you the timestamp and all that, God bless them. I'm not that guy. I don't think that. When it's doing this right here, I'm really good at the game. Can I just share something with you? It's not that hard to be good at the game when it's doing this right here. It's just not that hard. Let me tell you what's harder than following along in a trend like this. What's harder than that is really truly getting your mentality right to where when that happens, you get to take full advantage of it. That's much harder. That's much harder than following along in this trend. And it's way harder than trying to figure out exactly when this is going to stop going down and then finally go up again. All those things are easy weasy compared to getting your mind right and being ready to start pulling that trigger and grabbing profits when it's going up like crazy, and at the top of a big run you have a big candle that looks like this. Let's just say you've had all this movement up and you have this big candle right here, and you say, you know what, enough's enough. I've made a ton of money. I am pulling half my profit off. And then the next day it goes up and you go, man, I shouldn't have taken my profit. I should have waited. Already right there, you've basically told the whole world, I'm not ready to be in this game. Because on the next day, when it goes up like that, really big, what you should be doing is going, you know what? I think I'm going to take 25% more off. And then the next day when it goes up again, and you never thought you'd see these 2 days, or these 2 weeks rather, after this big weekly candle, after 3 big weekly candles, after 6 big weekly candles, after 6 more big weekly candles, you never thought you'd see all that way up here. And it's giving it to you on that last week right there. The only thing you should be doing is going, you know what? Man, the market has gifted me 2 extra weeks and I still have a position. I'm taking the rest off and let's just wait and see what happens. And be excited about what you did. Because I was talking with a friend of mine earlier and we were talking about day trading, and I said to him, I said, most people never ever consider the massive amounts of emotional thoughts that go through the mind of a day trader. I mean, guys, it is massive. It's not just a couple little thoughts and I'll be okay. No, let me give you one of them. So a day trader, most of them aren't any good. I've already told you that. 99% of them are not any good. The ones that are good keep their losses small. But look, when I say most of them, if you had a room of 10,000 people, there might be 50 people to 100 people in there that are really good day traders and they can eke out a living on day trading. So all the rest of them are horrific at it. So all the rest of them are going to get into a trade on a regular basis. The trade's going to go against them. They don't have any rules. They don't know what they're doing. So you know what they do? They just go like this. Well, gee, it moves so fast, so far, so quick. I'm just going to hold on here and wait for it to come back. It always comes back. I've been watching this game forever. So there's one set of emotions. And then they go away, or they have to go to bed that night and they're kind of nervous because they're like, man, I'm kind of afraid of what I'm going to wake up to. Man, I hope this comes back. I can't really put a stop loss in. Gee, this might blow out most of my account. Oh man, I'm not sure what to do. Should I sit up at my computer all night? Well, I've got to work tomorrow. There's a whole nother set of emotions. And then the next day they wake up and it didn't come back. And it has taken out 3/4 of their account balance. And they're going, man, gee whiz, I don't want it to take all my money. It's already taken a lot. I thought this would have come back. I'm not sure what to do. There's nobody to call. Man, please, market. They start praying. Hadn't prayed in years. They start praying. They start praying to the gods, the trading gods, please, please let it go back. And then they go, well, it's just going the wrong direction and this keeps getting worse. And you know what I think I'm going to do? Yeah, I'm just going to sell my position before it takes all my money, and then I'll feel better. Then I'll feel better. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Now, I don't know what you guys think about losing 3/4 of your money makes you feel better, but look at how irrational that is. Okay? But this is the emotions. I'm only on emotion number 3. So then they sell their position and they have a new emotion. Ah, I can breathe again. Man, that feels good. Oh, wait, no. Oh, it's going up. What? It's going. Man, I just got out of it. What do you? Oh my gosh! Look, it's almost all the way back to where I got in. Oh man, I should have never got out. Oh my goodness. Oh man, this feels so bad. Oh man, I don't know. Man, I don't know if I can keep up with this. Wow. All I had to do, man, if I'd have just stayed in for one more hour, man, I'd be back. I'd be positive right now. Look at the whole host of emotions. You want to turn gray? You want your hair to fall out? You want to come down with a sickness, an illness? Become a day trader. God bless you. Go be a day trader. Go get your excitement. Go get it out of your system. 99% of all people that put money in the market to day trade lose 100% of their money. 99%. Do you guys know statistics almost always win? I did say almost always. There's a few cases, but almost always statistics win. 99% of people lose 100% of their money. So, that being said, we're looking at weekly charts. We are swing traders. When I look at the price of Bitcoin, when I look at the chart with no cloudy vision, I see a really, really fabulous move that's already happened this year. And now we are waiting to see, are we going to get a follow through? If we get that follow through, the move we're going to get is going to dwarf this little move. It's going to make this little move look really stupid. People are going to go, man, I was excited when it went from 3,000 to 14, but geez, it just went from 7,000 to 82,000. Wow. And it'll seem so huge. Why? Because of the price. When you go from 3 to 14, you get an increase of what? 4.2? But when you go from 7, a price of 7 to 80, and it's a 10x move and you started from 7, you didn't start from 3, that's dwarfing the last move. Seriously dwarfing the last move. So, we are waiting for a follow through to happen. I can't tell you exactly how much further down it's going to go. Here's what's crazy about it. It doesn't invalidate all this move until it goes below this low price over here of 31.22. That was the low for the year. So now that it's gone this far up, it's got to go all the way down to 31.22 before it can invalidate. So everything from 31.22 and above still leaves room for Bitcoin to go up. And that's how we started our count. So if this is our first 5-wave count that went up $11,000 roughly, then we do a correction. Our next 5-wave count up goes to whatever price that happens to be. Okay? Now, what do we have to do that? To do that, we've got a couple of lines that need to be broken. Let's put them in here. That one there, which I'm going to put it in the right spot, is right there. So I put this top one in here just to show you guys that we have an expanding channel. Okay, so there's one bullish sign, expanding channel. Over here we have a nice chart pattern where we've been creating this. The last time I saw this chart pattern was in Ethereum before it broke out and went to 1400. That's the last time I saw that. So really we've got to cross past that line to go up. to really go up. I would say the next time we cross past 10,500, meaning that we're having some confirmation candles going above 10,500, I suspect we will blow this old high over here and go make new highs on Bitcoin. That's my suspicion, just looking at the chart. Now, all these months later, after the price, or weeks, and actually it is months, after the price broke above the 50, and we've come back down and we're consolidating at the 50 and the 100, the 50 is crossing the 100. Now, if you go back here, right there where that happened, that started the next run. You see that? So the first run went like this. 1, 2, down to here. 3, up to here. 4, down to here. 5, up to here. ABC correction. And then it started the move up, where it went into a 3 of 3 wave, which was right here. That was 3 of 3. Okay, maybe to right there, but that was a heck of a wave. That was from $500 to 3,000. Pretty good wave. Maybe even it ended there at 5,000. Okay, then an ABC correction, then it did the 5th wave. All that because it got above the 50 on the weekly. Now, there's a little bit different dynamic or dichotomy going on in Bitcoin today that we didn't have back here in 2016. And I'll tell you what it is. I think we're seeing Bitcoin sell down way more than it ever has in the past when it does a correction because more people are involved. Meaning that back here, I can't give you the quantitative number, but back here in 2015, let's just say there was 250,000 Bitcoin wallets. Well, today it's in the millions. So there's a lot more people involved. There's a lot more day traders that have come over from Forex. There's a lot more, we've got the futures market. There's just a lot more going on in crypto. As that continues, I think you're going to see a lot more selling off than you ever did before. But I also think that'll be the same reason will be what projects and propels the price to go to levels that an asset on planet Earth has never seen before. No one's ever seen this over here, and no one's ever seen, in my opinion, what Bitcoin will be doing next. Okay? Not to count out that it can't just go down. It can, guys. I've never been a person to say it can't go down. I'm just giving you my suspicion. I'm cautiously optimistic, meaning I'm cautious that it certainly could go down from here, but my optimism tells me too many things are set up for it to go up. Now, in this correction, let me show you one other bull reason. So we've got the bullish pattern that we have. We have also another bullish pattern, an expanding channel. We have the 50 crossing the 100, which we haven't had. So that golden cross happening now this week. Let me blow it up for you so you can see it. There it is, right there. So you should be able to see that. The 50 just crossed the 100. Now, I think if this week closed all the way down here, that may not cross. It may roll over on the bottom. But let's just see what happens this week. Let's see what happens this week. We're on Wednesday, and the volume is already pretty decent for the week. Let's see what happens. Now, let me show you one other bullish pattern that you guys may or may not be looking at. I did a course with you guys on harmonic patterns, and we're going to go through one right now. Okay. This right here, probably where it tips, might be about there. This right here could be a bullish butterfly, or it could even be a bullish crab. I would probably lean more towards bullish crab. And you might notice, for those of you that have never looked into harmonic patterns, you might notice that everything in a harmonic pattern is set up for nothing more than Fibonacci. That's all that it is Fibonacci. You might even could put this here, but that doesn't give you any pattern you've ever seen in the Gartley patterns. So there's just a lot bullish about Bitcoin. I don't care what the people on YouTube are saying. I don't care what they're saying on Bloomberg. I don't care what CNBC is saying. Here's what I will tell you guys as I wrap this up. There are so many times in the world of investing that just when it gets to a point where you finally went from being angry and upset to the price went up to 14,000 and you had all that excitement, and then it died off and was going back again, and now it's going back, and you go, I just can't take it, and you get out of crypto. Just like some of my buddies I've been talking to today. They've got a ton of people leaving crypto. Lost all their money and leaving crypto. Can't take it anymore. Can't hodl any longer. Whatever it is. And it's right at that point, just right before they crest that wave, that the price goes up. And they got out. And those same people rush back into the market to buy. Wait for it. They rush back in to buy all the new high prices. And guess who they're buying from? They're buying from you. You've been being patient. What did we talk about the transfer of wealth is? It's the transfer from the impatient to the patient. And look, guys, I've told you before, I'm not sitting around just overjoyed. I have some serious life projects I'm ready to get on with, and I need about $60, $70 million to get on with them. And no, they don't include a house. I'm not trying to put 60 or 70 million in a house or some new car. I don't care. That is not what this is about. I have some life projects that I'm ready to get on with, and I need crypto to go to new highs so I can get started in some of those life projects. And I am no different than any one of you. I see the market. It doesn't bother me. I don't lose any sleep over it. I don't look at it every day. In fact, today was the first day I've looked at Bitcoin in probably 4 days. A friend of mine called me up this morning and said, man, what do you think is going on with Bitcoin? And I said, I don't know. What's it done? What's the problem with it? I said, oh, it's right about where it was 2 or 3 days ago. Nothing's happened. And so anyway, I am no different than you guys. I've just been doing this a long time. And I think from my perspective that it's not too much further around the corner that I think we should be seeing what we're looking for. I know it can go down. I hope it doesn't. But it may have to do that first. I don't know. I'm not the guru. I don't have the crystal ball. But I'll tell you what I am a guru at. I'm a guru at my emotions. I'm a guru at my mentality. I'm a guru at planning ahead to where no matter what the market does, I'm going to be okay. And those are the things I've been trying to teach you guys the most of, because there will come a time I'm not around. And you will have learned those things, and the market will be doing something, and you'll still be in it, and you'll remember. You'll go, oh yeah, I've seen this before. This is where they've, take it way down, and everybody gets angry, and everybody gets pissed off at their government and whatever else. And it's right there where everybody else sells their positions, and that's where I'm buying mine. And you'll be on your way. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this dissertation about Bitcoin, about the crypto markets, about some of the things that I see, and more to come tomorrow. We'll jump back on some of your topics of discussion for December, but I wanted to just do a quick update on everything happening that I see with Bitcoin. Also, Before you go, let me point another couple bullish things out to you. On the daily, this is something you may or may not have noticed, but if we pull the daily out a little bit, we've got quite a bit of divergence happening here. Look how the price is way down here, okay? Way down here. And now the price is almost back to there, but the histogram is on top of the white line. It's on top of the 0 line. Also, your MACD lines are up higher, and the price is almost at the same place. So there's quite a bit of divergence when you look around at the different time frames. You can do 3-day. 3-day has divergence. Look here. Right here where this low came down, your MACD was making its way back to the 0 line. Then it went lower, and your MACD made teeny tiny candles. Because why? There's just not a lot of momentum here. Not a lot of momentum there. So what it's trying to say is we're still feeling rather bullish. And then on the weekly, we even have divergence here on this MACD as well, on the histogram. These candles are not a ton smaller, but they are smaller than the last time that it came down, yet the price went further down than it did last time. So some nice divergence there as well. So let's just be patient. Again, the transfer of wealth is from the impatient to the patient. I think you guys are going to be excited that you were patient. Have a good day.